Hi guys, it's Rosemary with Good Journeys Tarot, and today I'm responding to the hashtag Where I Tarot from Common Hawthorn, and I first saw this on Simon at the Hermit's Cave channel, so you'll see both of those as above, so below. And the first place that I read almost every day is here in this room that's reserved for us to take personal calls and whatnot at work. I have to have my morning coffee before I do any reading, and so I'll do my daily pull here. And usually I pull an upright card and a reversed card. It's really a learning exercise where I look at the meanings of a card, and then throughout the day I look for where those cards might apply. You'll see here I have my reading, and I also have my planner where I write down my reading and my thoughts. And I also carry around some crystals that sometimes I'll take out and lay around while I'm reading. But what I find is that while many books tell you find a quiet place, relax, calm your mind, and all of that, is that you read where you need insight. And so as I show you some of the places that I read, they may be kind of interesting and unusual to you, or they may just be commonplace. But I want you to know that when you need a reading, you need a reading. It doesn't matter whether you're able to do all of the bells and whistles that you would do at home or at your altar. And here is my alternate reading space at work. This is our lobby. There's a red sofa, and it's a nice relaxing place where I can actually see outside. We're not a very busy building, so not a lot of people come through here, so I can shuffle the cards and pull my 2 cards in the morning if I need to. And I actually prefer it here to the other room, but I typically do the other room because it's private, whereas occasionally people walk through this room. But it is a much more relaxing environment where I can actually see outside and whatnot. So this is another place that I read. Sometimes I work with the tarot at my altar. I'll draw 1, 2, sometimes even 3 cards. You'll see that I keep my card of the year, which this year is the 3 of Cups on my altar. There is the card for March, which is Judgment, for my annual reading. And then you'll also see the Oracle card for my Witch's Moon for the month. And I usually have a tarot deck on here. The one that's on there right now is, of course, Tattoo Tarot Ink and Intuition. I have been using it as I work with Bridget this last month or so. And I'll soon be flipping out my altar for the next Sabbath, which will be in bulk. And I'll probably swap out the tarot deck. Right now I'm thinking that's going to be my Light Seers Tarot, which I have been reading with for my weekly readings. But real quick, there's a look at my altar. So here is another place that I most frequently read. And as you can tell, this is my sofa. Usually I'm sitting there, and you actually saw me there in a video, Tarot Tubers A to Z. And next to it's my card table, which I've covered with books and my laptop and all of the cards that I've been working with recently. I think there's like 4 decks down here right now. So usually I will do a reading on the coffee table in front of me, or I'll clear off a space on this table and do a reading. But this is where most of my study takes place, is here, because it's comfortable and because it provides a good place for me to hang out with my animals while I'm working. Whereas other places, they don't feel like they can get as close to me, and they'll whine and cry the whole time I'm sitting there studying. It's a mess right now because I've been working on things and doing things. There's a little bit of everything there. You'll see some of my art projects, as well as my planner and the remotes for the television, which is across from me. So this is a space that I use a lot because on my television, I actually have my computer connected, my desktop, so I can actually listen to music or play YouTube videos if I'm learning something or practicing something, and I want to do that on the big screen. So this is another place that I read. Yet another place I often read is on my dining room table. You'll recognize the table from many of my videos in the wood there. And usually you'll also notice behind me when I'm recording my face that I'm next to my china cabinet, which is immediately behind the dining table. I just kind of threw these cards down here just to have something on the table to show you. This isn't an actual reading, although it is a little bit of a depressing one, is it not? Let's check out the next place I read. And now we are in my office where we have this table. So this table started out its life as a sewing table, hence the indentation in the middle for the sewing machine that my grandfather made for my grandmother. And my mother used it for a number of years. And when I first moved into my first place, my mother passed it on to me. And for a while, I used it as a potting table where I would like swap plants out of flower pots and that kind of thing. And then I painted it to use as a desk when I moved into my current house. And mostly I read the Spirit Keeper's Tarot here. You'll see here my Spirit Keeper's books, and there is my journal for the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. These are the crystals that I work with it, as well as the candles. And in the drawer, I have both the Spirit Keepers and the Spirit Keeper's Vitruvian, as well as my essential oil that I made to work with the Spirit Keeper's Tarot and the Vitruvian edition. And then also is my Oracle bone script that Benebell did, which I use with these decks sometimes. And so that is one of the other places that I often read. And there you'll see my magic squares for the archangels. You'll notice it does not match Benebell's. I actually personalized it for myself. The last place I read every day is right here at my bed. You'll see my phone charger and the remote for my fan, and where I burn a little incense every once in a while. But right now I'm working with the Dream Raven Tarot right before I go to bed every night, pulling a card and kind of putting my head in a positive space as I go to sleep, rather than focusing on the things of the day or the things of tomorrow, but rather the positive aspect of the card and its impact on my life. And so every night I'll pull a card. I just switched out decks. I was working with the Crystal Unicorn Tarot, but now I'm working with the Dream Raven. And you will be able to actually see a walkthrough of my trimming of that deck here on YouTube. Hi guys, I wanted to close out this video here in my car, because one of the things that I think is important to note is that not everyone reads at home or even in their study or at their altar. You know, me, I always have a deck with me, so wherever I go, I can read whenever I want. And often I will go to friends' houses for the intention of reading tarot, or occasionally I'll just be having a conversation with friends and something will come up and I'll like, you know what, let's just see what the cards have to say about this. And so I'll pull the deck out. And also, you know, one of the weirdest places I ever read was, in fact, my car. I had gotten a new deck. I was stuck in traffic, and so I decided to do a reading there. But basically, anywhere I go or travel, I actually have a deck with me. So almost anywhere can be a reading space if you're open to it. Again, I hope everyone enjoyed the video Where I Tarot. And until next time, good journeys.